guess what? Sony is going third party, and you're going to see Ratchet and Clank on Xbox. You're going to see The Last of Us on Xbox. You're going to see Spider-Man on Xbox. And I say hashtag whole slate. King, who is 98% right of the time, agrees with me, and I'm not the only one in this community that does. You know why? Because Sony's a corporation that right now has a trading stock of $24.63. Do you know what Microsoft stock is trading for? And thanks to King David for pointing this out yesterday, $514 per share.
Yikes!
Alright everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and today we're going to go over your next dose of the salty batch files. We have some good receipts here and some good callouts, so enjoy the ride and let's go ahead and jump to it. Alright, so like I said, what we're going to do is get right to the plot here, right to the theme of things here, and of course we're going to hold some folks accountable here because they don't know if they're left from the rights, they don't know anything in between, and just like the opener there, now we have babbling morons trying to give stock advice because now in regards to how they're translating the stock market in regards to PlayStation and or Sony, then of course spouting nonsense like they're going under, they need help, they need to sell games and stuff like that, which we're gonna, attach something at the very end here. We're gonna go over a great example that somebody shared, and I want to share that with you on how this all breaks down and how it's not as black and white as these morons like Boomstick, Mr. Alfalfa is stating here. So before we go into that, we have the examples, right? Let's start with the first one here. Let's just go right off the bat here. I want to show you a quick video from Destin. I think this is golden. This is him trying to preach about the handheld version of the ROG Ally X. Go ahead and take a look at this.
It's this change in strategy from Xbox that has ruffled some feathers. I challenge you to ask yourself, why do you feel it's important to say that PlayStation will block this from happening? Something we now know is completely false. Or to claim it's not an Xbox when even the CEO stands in front of you, stands in front of a camera and tells you it is. Or to argue about what is a console and isn't when the word console is literally written on the device. Calling a handheld a console has been nomenclature for some time now. Every major retailer, Walmart, Target, they all call the Switch 2, the Steam Deck, they're all called consoles. So some are getting hung up on semantics, but this is the future of Xbox, at least, for everybody.
A few moments later.
We're seeing a little bit of confusion doing the rounds on social media about whether the newly announced ROG Xbox Ally handheld will play native console games or not. And the answer is that it doesn't, at least not as things stand. So not yet, but Xbox said it would. Anyway, this is a Windows PC handheld that's designed to play native PC games, which means you can still play games from the Xbox PC app and PC Game Pass, as well as stuff from Steam and other launchers, but not native console games. I mean, of course not. It's not a It's not like a 360 console. It's a handheld console. Yeah, that's okay. I get why people get confused when you say console now. I kind of get it.
All right, so as you can see and experience there, I think that's one of the best 4K moments that I've seen in quite some time. If you happen to miss that little segment, that was definitely there, not doctored, not AI'd. That is exactly what came out of his mouth. The moment of despair, the stop, the realization of it all. But does that stop him going forward? No, he's continued to grift and shill and claw his way to create any sort of content, to get those clicks, to lie, to spout, to fearmonger, you name it. That hasn't stopped him. But that is the Xbox community in a nutshell. Unfortunately, at least the talking heads, the loud ones. I'm sure there are normals out there that don't get to that degree of things and actually aren't delusional like that. But again, let's show this actual example as well here. As you can see from him, after he was burned a little bit before he continued to grift and fraud and shill and all that stuff. Can anyone trust Xbox anymore? This was his video, almost a 15-minute long video in regards to can anyone trust Xbox anymore? The answer is no. You can't, you couldn't, and unfortunately, we can't trust those like Destin Legary and the other talking heads because they don't know what they're talking about. They want to speak on hyperboles, they want to speak on nonsensical data, they want to make things up in their own delusional world and spout that off as gospel. That's not how that works. Not how that works. We have a lot of examples, so we're going to keep this churning a little bit here, but as we continue to go, talking about not trusting folks, of course we have King David once again, who states that he is right 98% of the time. This changes week to week. Sometimes it's 99, sometimes it's 100, sometimes it's 89. It just depends on what's coming out of his ridiculous mouth. But as you can see here, PlayStation to release more games on Xbox, question mark, question mark, question mark. And then of course showing The Last of Us, right? Not showing games as a service, not showing anything else. Nothing has come out of any woodworks. No leaks, nothing out of official mouths of PlayStation headquarters, nothing like that. Nothing from Herman Holst. So again, just speculation, and again, leading people down the path of delusion and lies in order to make themselves feel better that Xbox did in fact fail, and that's just the way it is. But again, can we trust Xbox? No. Can you trust these talking heads for the Xbox community? No. Again, you continue to damage the brand that you want to cap for. But you know this, you know that, you don't care. It's all about that engagement. It's all about that ad revenue, the super chats, all that stuff, without being real to your audience or anybody else. But that's your conscience, not mine. As we continue here, I want to show the disarray that Xbox is in, by the way. This is from Eurogamer, showing what was floating around for some time. If you did happen to miss this, Xbox graphics department lead puts out cringeworthy hiring posts with AI graphics. As you can see, this was an official post from the Xbox marketing. They were looking for graphics artists, and of course they have it here. What do we notice here? Gee, I don't know. The fact that it is simple, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I think the glaring portion of this is, well, the data is actually on the other side of the monitor there, not even on the screen. I don't know if that is the screen. It looks like the back of a monitor to me. How this is a severe oversight is beyond me. This shouldn't take a rocket scientist. This shouldn't take a veteran in the hemisphere of that department to sit there and look at one image. This isn't, research files and paperwork that you have to sift through. This is a literal image to look over super quick and be like, hey, that data, that image is on the opposite side of the screen, guys. How simple does it have to be? Absolutely insane to me. Again, Xbox in a nutshell. Do we trust Xbox? Can we trust Xbox? Again, the answer is no. It's no. Let's keep going here. We of course, got to have some Colt Eastwood receipts here, and we're going to start off here. He was replying to his girlfriend Septic Sauce here, Gaz on Daily, stating the port begging has never been more desperate. I don't blame them with this roadmap. Again, that keyword roadmap, because that's what they were all hyped on. And half the games aren't even announced yet. So again, comparing the exclusive games and the roadmaps as opposed to PlayStation's catalog, right? As we continue to go on, he later on reiterates, well, now that things have changed, guys, exclusives are dissolving, all right? And all gamers and franchises will benefit from it. So now we're doing the Kumbaya thing. It's not about exclusives. It's not about roadmaps. They're dissolving. It's a different landscape. Let's just get on the coattails of other people that are spouting this as well. Guys, don't worry about it. But I do like how Oliver states in here. Good on him. He states, I don't think that is true. Nintendo is still 100% committed to exclusives, and Sony is still primarily focused on PlayStation. These are truth, right? This is truth. Instead of just gargling whatever nonsense that Colt Eastwood is stating, he speaks more facts here. Microsoft has given up on exclusives because they have no choice, not because that is some unwritten law of the industry. Honestly, guys, without sitting there and putting this together in a paragraph, couldn't have said it better myself. Without taking time to sit there and write something down thoughtfully, just off the cuff, I wouldn't put something together this quick because it just takes a minute to sit there and think about it. I don't want to put that effort in there. It's an uphill battle. So thank you, Oliver, for putting that out there. This did gain some traction, and that's the truth, as opposed to the bullcrap, again, spewing from Colt Eastwood's mouth. So, as we move along here, we do have the catfish here, Andrea Piccinini, aka Joseph Cruz, rebranded as Extension. As we continue here, after I started posting screenshots and videos of various games running on the Xbox Series X, I realized how much the Xbox brand is hated. Again, now we're back to the victim mentality, right? There's keynotes, delusion, fixation, victimhood, all this stuff, right? The vast majority of the comments are gratuitously hateful. It's utterly bizarre. Yes, because you're not feeding into this, right? You're not feeding in the fact that you're a catfish and lead your followers astray, continue to do so. Now you just don't even mention anything gender-wise and what's going on, but that's besides the point at this point. But you continue to lie. You continue to act like you're playing games that you're not playing. You mainly play Forza, which is fine, but don't pretend like you're an actual gamer and you play a bunch of different games. You've dedicated your life to be an online fighter for this because you like the attention. As we continue on, the other catfish. Yes, there's two of them. At least they're not stating that they are or are not a lady, whatever. I don't know if they've ever stated that, but we know they're a dude. They mentioned, came across that. That's, again, besides the point. Anna Anson again. Welcome ABK. They still have Welcome ABK, by the way. A little bit dated, a little bit out of touch there. I cured so many ponies by basically educating them. Again, they've been caught red-handed lying multiple times. The media has been brainwashing them for so many years. Okay, so now the media is brainwashing PlayStation fans, even though it's been more attuned to Xbox, including IGN and many others. But, of course, it's the media brainwashing the rest of the PlayStation fans out there, guys. That's why we're here to help gamers have better gaming experiences and join the Xbox family. Why would you tell someone to join the Xbox family when they're on their way out the door as far as hardware is concerned? We're not talking about the PC hybrid type of situation here with the ROG Ally X, the rumored new console that will be a hybrid of some sort, which we still don't know or have any factual information at this time. Why would you have them go somewhere where you can go anywhere else, literally even PC if you wanted, or go to PlayStation or Nintendo, actually have exclusives? And like I said, PlayStation, again, just not touting the horn, but you're getting the best of both worlds at that point in time, right? You're getting Xbox games and PlayStation games. You don't have to worry and wait and see if King David and etc. are telling you that the PlayStation games are coming to Xbox when they potentially probably won't in regards to first-player, single-player games. Ridiculous. Obviously, the catfish down below. Bunch of emojis there to back that up because they're both great. Sad examples here. Making up more delusion in their mind, victim mentality, and lies. That's all they do. You love to see it in a way because look at how salty they are. Their world is crumbling around them. And instead of acting normal, accepting the route, still being an Xbox fan. It's okay to still be an Xbox fan, guys. It's okay. It's okay to even be an Xbox fanboy. It's okay. But when you have to lie to prove a point, all credibility's lost and you look like a moron. Simple as that. As we continue here, when I was talking about the grifting, right, that Destin's continued to do, well, here's the other example. Destin is live. The PlayStation multi-platform meltdown is glorious. This is in regards to Helldivers 2 and etc. So again, cashing in on that, the grifting, frauding, shilling, and just wants to play into the console war stuff when he keeps touting that he's not above doing anything like that, right? He wants to act like he won't have any part of that, and the next moment he's full in. Because engagement matters, ad revenue, super chats. If you keep your sheep of an audience happy, there you go. Pretty pathetic, but again, the example speaks for itself. As we continue on, the catfish is back once again, right? Who did this? Laughing emojis and crying emojis, showing Death Stranding 2 on the beach, and then everybody going to Forza Horizon 5. Again, a fairly new IP that is a niche type of genre, as opposed to Forza that's been out for multitudes of years. All right. So obviously no eccentrics at that point. Forza 5 was a great game. Is a great game. A lot of people enjoyed it. A lot of people played it. PlayStation fan base, it's that forbidden fruit. They're going to get that as well. But to sit there and put some sort of slide remark there on Death Stranding 2, which got critical acclaim, great reviews. Anybody that's played the game loves the game. Obviously, Death Stranding 2 is not going to put in the user sales that Forza Horizon 5 is doing. That's like comparing Call of Duty in its heyday to Banjo-Kazooie. Even though Banjo-Kazooie's a great game. And let's say they were both released in the same time frame, right? The heyday, whatever one you want to consider Call of Duty being your favorite one, the most popular one, whatever you want to compare it to, it's like comparing it to that. A game that is now multi-platform fully to another game that is not only not multi-platform at this time, but in a closed ecosystem at this time, and you think that's a W. You think that's a W? Again, it hurts them. It hurts them so bad to see the state of Xbox, and they're gonna ride that ship into, you know, the roughest waters until it sinks and goes deeper than the Titanic itself, right? It's just unfortunate. It's just a case of the matter there. But again, the grifting, frauding, the shilling, it just doesn't end there, right, guys? It really doesn't end. But as we finish this up here, this is what I wanted to state for you and talk about this. We started off with the first of the video with the stockbroker boomstick now giving us advice and etc. And anybody that's coming across thinking it's as black and white as needing just sales on other platforms to make it in this industry, this is a great quote breakdown, basically, right? So as you can see here, more people equals more money sounds logical, but it oversimplifies how platform holders think. Games aren't just products, they're strategic assets. A great game can sell well anywhere, but when it's exclusive, it becomes a reason to buy into an ecosystem. And not just a one-time transaction, right? I just recently came out with a video, again, of why exclusives matter. This speaks upon that as well, right? As we continue on, exclusivity isn't about making fewer people have it per se, right? It's not about gatekeeping, right? I've talked about this. It's about driving long-term engagement, hardware sales, subscription growth, and brand loyalty things that multi-platform releases often dilute. Exactly. Unfortunately, we can have these great third-party multi-platform games that are very good and well done, but it does dilute that a little bit. Let's be honest. You don't have that special sauce, so to speak, right? As we continue, Sony, Nintendo, and even Microsoft with timed exclusives understand that platform identity matters. You don't build a premium brand by giving away your marquee titles. Exactly. 100% on the mark. Bullseye. And then they finish up. Yes, multi-platform releases might boost short-term revenue. Okay, we're not even talking profit, but revenue. But exclusivity can create network effects, community cohesion, and marketing clarity that multi-platform games rarely achieve. So again, it's not about just getting a little bit of revenue. And at this point in time, when folks are trying to state, and when I say folks, I mean the Xbox fraud, shills, and grifters, are trying to state, well, they need it. It'd just be stupid to leave money on the table. If you don't put Spider-Man over on Xbox, if you don't put God of War on Xbox, Horizon on Xbox, The Last of Us on Xbox, etc., etc., it's just money left on the table. Why would you not do that at this point? Why would you not? Exclusives are bad, guys. It's gatekeeping, all this stuff. No, you have to have that. It damages the brand. It damages the ecosystem. It damages the quality. It dilutes things. Like I said, go back, hit pause still, reread this whole thing. It's tit for tat. It's 100% on the mark. Bullseye. Right? It's as simple as that. And I think this encapsulates everything that I've been trying to say in a neat point. Obviously, I can add some bullet points to this that I've touched upon in my last video for Exclusives Matter, right? But ultimately, I like to sound off on this and let you all know and help you understand that it's not as easy as that. It's not as black and white. It's not just money left on the table. There's so many things that encompass that. And there's nothing wrong going on with the stock market, by the way, with Sony and PlayStation. They're doing just fine. They're doing just fine. Don't let these bozos put on the clown nose and tell you what's going on, because nothing out of their mouths are true. Be careful who you follow. I've stated this multiple times in the past. Be careful who you follow. It is what it is, but just be very, very careful. You're going to get wrong information. Creates fear-mongering, overhyping. You keep tuning in to create that fear-mongering effect to whatever the case is, or that hope, copium, delusion, whatever it translates into for you per se. that's not good in the outcome. But that being said, we will wrap up the video here, folks. I appreciate you sticking around for the entirety of the video. If you haven't already, definitely consider liking, commenting down below. Both those things help out the algorithm, so thank you so much. If you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing, helping out a small content creator like myself to help spread the truth, to help give this content, give a little bit of entertainment out there. And I could not do this without you all, so thank you so much for sticking around, continuing to help this community and this channel grow. Thank you so much. And of course, at the end of the day, just always remember, don't be a salty batch. And we'll see y'all next time on the next Xvault gaming video. And until then, take care.